thinking, lost into my singing, heart like New Orleans, and cars be cool and jeans.
What the fuck?
It's like croutons in a soup.
Don't turn down any opportunity, whether it's a camp, a clinic, because you never know literally who's watching.
Make your own decision and stick with them and know they're the right decisions, right? And even if they aren't right, don't regret them.
He didn't know creatine existed. So you got some creatine? He's like, oh, yeah. Lift heavyweight.
Shipped across the border. I shipped across the border.
Shipped across the border, man.
Welcome back to Shipped Across the Border. Welcome back to Shipped Across the Border. My name's Chris, and I'm here with Mr. Needs a Handle, a.k.a. the third best God brother, a.k.a. the second strongest person in this room. How's your day today?
Good. How about you?
It was vibes. I mean, guess what I hit at the gym?
You train today?
Guess what I hit?
What did you train? Let me get shoulder. Goddamn fucking
Guys,
shoulder.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I fucking need cat delts. Out of every body part that I've ever trained, it's easily shoulders is my favorite. And if you couldn't guess, the guy beside me quite enjoys chest.
Chest day,
more than
baby.
everything else in the fucking world. But
chest day is the best day. Monday's chest day. Tuesday's chest day. Chest day is the best day.
anyways, how did you start playing basketball?
How did I start
Let's
playing
go back.
basketball?
Let's go back. I want to go childhood traumas. I want to go.
All right. If we're going all the way back, where it started truly for me was I just didn't like any sports. Didn't really play a lot of sports. Parents put me in soccer, put me in baseball. I hated all of it. Never clicked. There's no click. Nothing. And I was
Wait, didn't you? I know this, but tell them what happened when you played soccer.
Oh, I just picked the dandelions. I just picked dandelions. My dad was like, fuck! I paid money for my son to not run up the field. He just sat on his butt and picked dandelions. But no, so I just played video games pretty much to as my escape from reality. And then
It's pretty dark for an 11-year-old to be escaping reality.
yeah, no, I was able to escape from reality, but like
What do you at 11-year-olds? What are you escaping from? Like the fact you didn't get good Christmas presents? Like
life hit hard. No, but yeah, I just wasn't really a sport guy. I wasn't an athletic guy. And honestly, I feel like me waiting till the time I did to play basketball almost like was a big downfall for like the future of my basketball and athletics. Because I didn't play like sports like soccer, which my brothers did. And like Ronan played soccer and played it hard. And he had the jumping genetics of like good tendons, good fucking everything. But for me,
nah, your brother was actually a beast. Carter was insane at soccer.
yeah,
dude.
and they were good sprinters and all that, and explosive. Me, I'm not that explosive, and I think that's got to be it. They played soccer, I sat on the grass.
Also, could have been the fact that you were born 4 months early.
That could be it.
Was it
too,
4 or
but
5?
I'm a logical man, but yeah. So basically, what happened was I didn't really play. Like I did play sports, but it never clicked. And then Ronan and Carter both played basketball, and I was like, I want to try that, and I did it, and just I can't remember the exact moment that I found love, but like I just played it and was like, this is it, this is the one.
And how did we develop the old 2-hand jumper?
I couldn't get the ball to the net, and I'd watch people like Steph Curry shoot it from 30, and I was like, oh, I want that.
You got infected early.
I got infected early, and I wanted it, and it was like one of those shooting forms that like it would go in enough where you don't want to switch it, but it's broke, and you need to fix it. So up to grade 7 in the summer, going into grade 8,
I was going to get into this.
I shot two-handed, and I remember I got like bullied for it. They're like, "Oh, you're trash! Like you can't! Like, oh, it's inconsistent. You're bum." So I was just had that drilling in my mind, and I was like, "I'm gonna prove everybody wrong." Mamba mentality. Like this is young me, still like fat, not fat, like skinny fat.
I'm going to put pictures in there.
Yeah, just greasy, unathletic kid. And from that age, I remember that summer I had a huge cut, like just grinding basketball. Started from the ground up, and I watched so many like the real ones will know like the I Love Basketball videos, like that goof. I don't know his name, but I remember I watched so many videos. I DM'd so many shooting coaches like, how do I increase the height of my jump shot? And I was just so stupid, and just I didn't really learn
There's
anything.
definitely like a handful of kids who are going to watch this. They're going to take offense to the fact that you just said that because they're out there doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, well, learning from me, I guess y'all don't know my highlights. I'm throw them up. Not my Durham court run highlights. But yeah, just repetition is really the best advice I can give.
Okay, so but I want to go back. So you have a 2-hand jumper, right?
Yeah.
And your brothers are like pretty good at this point. Like
Yeah.
you're grade 6 or 7, and you told me a story one time about how you were 1v1 in Carter and you couldn't even get the ball over half.
Yeah, I was shooting it from half court.
Just-
I hit a few, no lie. He knows.
But like he would just destroy you.
Oh, yeah.
Did you play Ron?
Yes and no. Like he was too good for me, so he'd be like,
I don't know. I don't even know if the sarcastic quotation marks are necessary at that point.
I guess, yeah, he was too good for me. Like, you're bum. Like, I'm not wasting my time. So he never would.
Did that fuck with you mentally? Like, cause you like everyone else is like, yo, Carter's crazy at basketball, Ron's crazy at basketball, and then Sam's just like kind of there.
Yeah, it did for sure. And like, I always had such a hard work ethic and like wanting to be the best no matter what.
Does that come from the fact that you have 2 older brothers who are fucking
Oh,
athletic
100%.
demons?
Yeah. Like it's just a competitive nature of like, they would always bully me as a kid, but like it was like a make or break type of thing, which I'm glad they did.
It's just having brothers. Like,
Yeah. So like they would call me like a whale, fat, slap me with
Spaz.
Yeah, spaz, like Mr. Shit His Pants, like all that shit. Like, yeah, they were going in. Like, and dude, I'd be waking up in the morning.
No, I'm changing your Snapchat name to that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'd be waking up and they'd just be like, Mr. Shit His Pants, fucking.
Did you shit your pants?
I did, yeah. I was a slow learner, I'll admit it.
What do you mean you wait? How do you mean you slow learner? Like you had a diaper on? Like what do you mean?
It's a long story. But yeah, I was quite the kid.
Okay, but
And so they run with it. And so it just pissed me off. I just wanted to be the best.
Okay.
Wanted to be the best. And pretty much I would do everything that would make them mad. If I seen them go out and play basketball in our like yard, I would go out. The second I'd stop what I'm doing, go out. And Ronan would get so mad. I'd never forget. He literally screamed at me. His face went so red, like he was just.
oh, I've seen
pissed.
it. He did it. He's done to
Yeah,
me
like
too.
he went absolute rage mode right in my face. Like, get out of my face. Like, I don't want you here. I want to be alone. And I was like, it's working. It is working. That means I'm doing something right because it's making him mad. And yeah, I would just
That's
play.
every younger brother's goal, bro, is just to piss off their older brother.
Oh yeah, it's payback. They make me mad. So I was like, this is my way. This is my way.
Okay, so do you think? John Scott, were you like fighting for his attention as a kid too, or no?
I'd say Dad was a great dad, and he equally gave us all enough love that it felt like lopsided. It was the right enough attention for all of us in like the right ways for like each age group of me being younger and Rona being older and Carter being the middle child. It was like perfect.
Okay, so I know there was a turning point from you going from literal complete dog shit to not complete dog shit in grade 7 and 8, from grade 7 into grade 8.
Literally in 8.
So
yeah.
I want you to explain what changed, because in grade 7 and 8 you scored 1 bucket in all of Friday night, which is this little league where I come from, and it's dog shit. And he didn't score all season except for 1 fucking huck 3. And then next season in grade 8 you came in and dropped like 30 points.
Yeah, I moved up actually. I was so good. They moved me up from like my actual league into the. I took a big jump.
So what the fuck happened?
I give credit to you because we started training together. Remember OG? I was friends with his little brother, and then it was a classic. He played basketball, and I'm like, yo, he knows something. He's older. Teach me a few things, and then that's just how we became OG boys, best friends. OG, and it was just classic shooting drills and shit that no one actually taught me because my brothers wouldn't teach me. They'd just be like, fuck off, go do your own thing. So first coach to actually teach me how to do anything solid, not from just YouTube and myself. And then that definitely helped a lot. And then also just YouTube itself, like watching so much drills and just playing nonstop, wanting to be the best. Like just in love with the game.
And then so you changed your jumper in grade 8, and then going into grade 9, what was your thought process going into grade 9 in terms of basketball?
Honestly, it was. It's been a while to really recall it all exactly perfectly, but my thought process. Like I remember going for the tour with the school and looking at the gym, and I played with a lot of the guys. This is pretty cool. Like I knew I was on the right path when I was playing with. I went and watched Carter's high school team when they went to CWOSSA. I watched their regular season game.
For everyone watching, CWOSSA is like, how do I explain this in American standards? Like if you had a little city in America, and then you were playing, and you had your high school team, and your high school team won, and then played like the best teams in the state.
Yeah, it's like in your area.
Yeah, best teams in the state. City.
Yeah, so I watched them play, and they were like good. They made it to CWOSSA, and they're all like solid players. At the time, they're solid players, and so I was like, wow, yeah. And so we'd have a court in our hometown of Durham that a lot of guys would come out and play at, and so I went there, being grade 8. No one knew who I was. They just knew I was little brother. Cooked them all. Like giving them buckets. Like I remember crossing over, shooting over the top, just splash. And they were like, yo, how old are you? And I was like, grade 8, going to grade 9. And they said word for word, I'll never forget, Tyson Wheeler said, you're going to be a killer. Like you're going to be fun to watch in grade 9, killing. And I was like, bet. Like, so I knew I was on the right path, right road. And yeah, so I just took it and go. Like with confidence all through, I'll be honest, that's probably where my like, it just never, there was no down period. It was just constant, like, keep
Possibly
going.
to your detriment because some of the shots he takes are very questionable.
Yeah, it's molded me to the player I am now.
Actively has told me that he doesn't see hands. He told me that in grade 10. He said, I just don't see contests.
It's a blessing, man. You can literally put hands in my face. All I see is rim.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. But you went into grade 9 with this insane amount of confidence.
And this is how it went. First high school game. So I made the team. I remember I was nervous for the tryouts because it was just classic, like first.
Shouldn't be because they were shitty as fuck.
Shitty, yeah. But our coach took like a 20-man plus roster.
It was insane.
Insane. And right off rip, they knew like I was the
Starting center.
Yeah, I played like power forward. I remember because I was like 6 feet, maybe a little below. No, I was probably like 5'10" at the time, and everyone else was so small. So they just put me at power forward, and I was like, huh? Like I remember they did not want me to shoot. Like they said, you're bully ball, and that's actually. I remember later on I would get pretty good at like the post and stuff, and that's mainly what it was from. Grade 9 was just feeding me down low.
Pause.
Yeah. And
Jason McDougal to the rescue.
Classic. But yeah, I remember my first game. We played Port Elgin, and I had, what was it? I think I had 2 points or 4 points at halftime, and I was like so nervous, didn't shoot at all, nothing. And I was like, this is tough. And then I remember in the fourth quarter, came down, hit a walk-up three-pointer, and I was like, wow. And they were sagging off me because no one knew who I was. And then I went down, did it again, same thing, laced it. I went down, did it again, laced it, brought us back. And then I remember I had like 14 points, and I was like, oh my God, it's happening. Like I am him, like confidence already, boom, back at it. And a big thing that I actually struggled with growing up was, I'll never forget, like when I moved up in Friday night, the small league, I remember I was really good in practice, but I could never do it in game. So I'd have people just chirping me saying, practice player, you're shit, you can't do it in game. And so during like the end of grade 8 and like kind of the beginning of high school, I had that in my mind. But then there came like a stretch where I was like, nah, I'm gonna do me. And I just did it. Like I don't know, it just happened. Got in that rhythm, got past that mental break. So much of basketball is mental. Like if you're in a mental slump, like you're just not yourself. You're not performing at your capabilities.
Shout out Richie Prentice.
Yeah, like there's so many people that you can just see. And I see a lot of myself back in the day in him. And you got to have that dog in you to really want it, to get it out of you. And yeah, just flowed. And from that game on, I remember it was cookies. Like it was just cooking.
Not actually cookies though, because he plays no defense. But so at that point in grade 9, you were frying, and then you come into grade 10.
Oh, I was so like grade 10 was like the biggest curse / blessing because it really let me. I got the keys. They were like, "Here, take them and drive this shit all the way to the sunset." But if I could go back, I would change it so much. I would redo it.
Why?
Because
you average like 25.
Yes, but like it's people always ask, like, cause I would be like that teammate that would have like that Mamba mentality or the MJ mentality of like, if they fucked up, I'd be like a bit of a douche. And it was like not in bad heart of like being just actual douche.
Just you wanted to win.
It's just because I wanted to win. I was so competitive and did not want to lose. And I was so pissed. And then people always also got it like misunderstood of why I liked scoring the ball. And honestly,
you should iterate for the fact that he was very well known for not passing the ball, like at all.
Yeah, it was bad. I did take a lot of shots, and rightfully so in a way of like, I should have shared the love a lot more than I did, but there wasn't a whole lot of talent spread on our team. But I know,
Shots fired.
yeah, it was just one of those teams, and it's like you got good guys.
It's kind of like Braden right now. It's like, even though he's shooting 30-footers, it's like, yo, who else is going to take that
But
fucking
his is
shot?
worse. His teammates are worse.
Yeah.
Mine were better, and I had like
His shot selection's also
I had more
worse.
friends on my team that were like, it was good. We were winning, and everyone was cooking. It was a great time. But the reason why I honestly took more shots wasn't even just because the teammates weren't as skilled, because I knew everyone could score, but it was more like I put in so much hours in my life and like over the season, and I had to prove to myself like it was paying off. I had to see just for me, just for my pride. No, I don't give a damn about the announcement saying how much I scored or how much whatever. I just needed to know that my work is working. Like I put so much, I didn't go to parties, didn't drink, no nothing, didn't talk to any girls, just lived my life on
That's
that
not
court.
exactly true.
I had a little bit of a off-season fling, sure, but it didn't distract me from my main goal, my plan,
Which was?
to make any professional basketball.
Any professional basketball, meaning like, I would elaborate.
Like I want to make either college, overseas, NBA. Like I obviously as a youngin, I wanted like NBA. I was like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I'm cooking everywhere, but I didn't understand until I went to Toronto for the first time with you. And
We'll get there. We got to put that
Yeah.
off for a little bit. Put it off for a little bit. Okay, so grade 10, you fried.
yeah.
And then grade 11 was COVID? Question mark.
So yeah, grade 10, just finished the year off, and we ended on such a bad note. Like we made it to qualifiers.
Oh my God, this is a classic story.
And yeah, made it to qualifiers, literally tie game. And my point guard, Braden Van Dusen, shout out to him. Our main point guard, Tristan Boyes, who is a demigod athlete, like swimmer, track man, all this stuff. He had swimming and OFSA, so he couldn't play for our qualifier game. So he was like, yeah, I got OFSA for swimming. So I was like, all right, you do you, man. And then Braden, who was the younger point guard at the time, subbed in to play a lot of minutes that game. And he had his moments, and he had his moments. And yeah, so he'll deny this that it happened, but it happened.
It was like 58-60. There's like probably a minute left on the clock. No, it was a tie game, right? 60
It's a tie game, yeah.
60-60.
He hit a deep ass three,
banked
banked.
it. Deep,
like-
meaning like half court.
Yeah.
And
to-
then he hit a bank shot from three, and then came down, shot another one, all glass. So then the game's tied at this point. And then you were in the corner.
Wide open. So someone got a steal, and it was like me and Braden coming down. I slid back to the corner, and I wanted him to just to find me, and it was tie game. And I could have just ran in for a layup after he gave me the ball. Anything. There's so much I could have done off that opportunity, that look. But he does some janky ass, like just terrible layup. No call. Just flops. Didn't even go for it to finish at all. He just wants to get the free throws. Probably would have bricked them anyways. And yeah, we lost the ball, and they went down and scored.
2 in a row. Talon hit, like he had like a layup on
Yeah.
Josh McDougal.
And then we had to foul, and then we just lost. And I would sleep better at night knowing I bricked that shot or made it, just having that look instead of that wasted
Oh,
opportunity.
he was like triple teamed, dude.
And I remember, I'll never forget, his father was in the stands. I just walked over to that bench and just stood there and stared into like his soul and was just like, bro, you've seen that. Like, what's happening here? What is that? What is that? I think my parents were there too, and they were like, damn, like, what can you do?
Yeah. Okay. So then that season ends.
And then, yeah, I remember March break hits, and it's like, yeah, you might get an extra week of March break.
Yeah, that was so crazy.
And then, bam, 2 years go by.
So what did you do during those 2 years of COVID?
Did a lot. I got a job at Walmart because my mom was like, you're getting a job. So I got a job and played basketball as much as I could. But then it got to a point when you literally couldn't go to a park
Yeah,
to play. Like, it was like the world was like, all right,
Did
goodbye.
they take the rims off during court?
They like taped everything. Like you couldn't go on it. You were getting charged.
I'm trying to remember. Like
by
I
the
was actually, it
police.
feels so long ago, but
Yeah.
I can't really remember. So you grinded during grade 11, hard as fuck, no school, no
Yeah.
basketball.
Like I played in my fucking backyard, and like it's all gravel. So I'll be doing a crossover. My handle is trash at this point, like so bad, because I do a crossover to hit a rock, fly under like my dad's truck, ball just gone. And it's like, well, I guess, and that's partially probably why my jump shot got so consistent, is I just did standing set shots. Like I bounced the ball back to me, and I just do set shots, free throws. Oh, and I had a broken Honda Civic, so I'd shoot over this broken car as a defender, just thousands, hours, like drenched in sweat, just going. And I just did it because there was nothing else to do. The world shut down, and I'm like, this is my oasis of paradise.
And then we went to a grassroots tryout during that grade 11 year, right?
It was like, I think it was right before the whole like huge shutdown. I think it was like right before.
And that was a turning point.
For sure. It really opened my eyes on like the level difference and like pace and like skill gap for sure. That I didn't understand.
At this point, we were only exposed to West grade basketball, and you kind of live in a bubble where like you're frying and you might be the best player here. So you're like, yo, I'm actually like nice as fuck.
Yeah.
And then you travel to Toronto and you're like, yo, this kid's dunking and I'm not doing that. So yeah, basically we pulled up and Elijah Fisher was in the gym. And this is kind of where like this is like a why am I blanking? Spider-Man thing. A fucking thing with like the moments and the things and the journey and things and the Canon event. It was a Canon event for me because basically they had this starting point guard who was only known for defense. And I came down and he was full court pressing me. And I'm this little white kid from fucking middle of nowhere. And this kid's like on the grassroots team as their main defender who his only job is to defend people. And I fucking snapped him. And you and Brent were in the crowd.
Oh, I remember that. We were like, no way. And then because he was pressing you so hard. Bro. And you just kept hitting like, I don't even know what crossovers, but like, bro was reaching so hard. And it was like, honestly, probably to this day, the cleanest crossover. Probably the cleanest crossover you ever hit.
Probably.
Like, it was so clean because he was playing so tight. And he bit so hard, and you just hit him with what he didn't expect, and he just froze and like
the
died.
Entire gym went fucking crazy. And I was probably like 5 feet out from the 3-point line, so I took like 2 dribbles.
And it was college 3, right? Like, it was deep as fuck.
And I fucking let that shit fly, and it drilled, and the crowd erupted, bro. Yeah. And then that was basically...
That was in front of Elijah Fisher, man. Like, that's pretty impressive shit.
It was wild. That was the turning point in my career. I'm not even gonna lie. If that didn't happen, I probably wouldn't have ever played college basketball because
definitely gives you like a taste, that little taste of like, wow, I'm playing against D1 level athletes.
But by the way, before that, like, so basically in the tryout we had, there was like 40, 50 people probably.
It was a lot.
There was a fuck ton of people, and they had all these drills and stuff, and they were doing all this shit. And then at one point, they separated us up into 8 different groups of 5, and we were playing. And they took 3 squads of 5 to play the main grassroots team after the whole thing was over, and they based it on who was being the loudest and trying the hardest in the other drills. And it just happened to be that
I remember there was some football players and that shit.
Oh yeah, they were fouling the shit out of
it. And it was like so many kids. Like I remember in the scrimmages, I did not touch the ball like at all. One, I was so nervous I wouldn't do anything with it. If you put me in that shit now, give me that rock. I don't care who's in front of me. I don't care what label you are. If you could be a D1 athlete, I'm God. Like I don't even care because I'm like at a different mindset now. But in that time, I was nervous because I'm like, holy, this is insane. I've never done anything like this. I'm used to like West Gray kids that are this tall and trash. But yeah, there's a lot of kids out there that were trying to get theirs, so they would not pass. Like I remember I'd be open
every tryout,
and it's just like, man, unless someone gives you a quick pass and you have a second to go at it, or else you're done. So
yeah, and I remember like probably seconds before that shit went down with the guy was full court pressing me, I came off of a pick and I was like not expecting this at all. Elijah Fisher jumped me, stole the ball from me, went down and fucking e-spaded on the other end. Yeah, it was just fucked. It was an insane tryout. What was going through your head when that tryout was happening? The whole from start to finish.
I was like, this is a lot quicker than I'm used to. A lot more athletic, a lot more serious. Like the coach, like Ro Russell, was like, "Man, this is it. Like, if you don't do it, you're ass." And I'm like, "Damn, he might be right." But yeah, because I played 2 years of high school basketball at that point, so I was like, "Wow, this is a lot different. It's a lot different in talent." And it really made me like humble of like, "Wow, I'm not that good." Coming from, you think you're good in your little play circle, but you're really not.
If you would have made that team, what would have happened?
That's a tough one too. It's like, love my parents, but they'd probably be like, "Man, Toronto team." No. that's I never got to play any rep growing up, so I think that really piqued my potential a lot. And like, if I grew up in that environment 24/7, I'd be. Honestly, I truly believe I could be playing like D2 at least. Basketball level.
I'm going to withhold my comments on that one, but I will say that when we left for that tryout, this is the other thing about growing up in a small town is when we left for that tryout and we told everyone that we were going to this shit, as you come back from, because Dustin, Carter, and Rom were all waiting at the house for us. And like we opened the door, and the minute we got there, like, yo, how'd it go? And you get back to school and everyone's like, yo, how did it go? And then just the murmurs of like, when you go to these tryouts, the entire town's waiting to see what the fuck's about to happen. Like they're expecting to come back and like, oh, you got dunked on and shit, whatever. And that's just, it was fucking wild. But after that,
I will say though, like kids that we know now that are playing basketball, besides like Miles, a lot of them wouldn't go out of their way to do that. They'd just be like, nah, I'm comfy here. I'm not doing that. But you really have to go out of your comfort zone to really see and have an aha moment to be like, damn. But I remember after that, the car ride, I sat in the back and I literally just binge Kobe Bryant highlights and just Mamba moments and all that shit. I don't know what I gained out of it, but it just brought me back to my safe place, I guess. I don't know.
did that fuck with your goal of being pro, or were you
I think you maybe more think realistically, not like I don't know. It maybe hindered my plan A and only plan A. It kind of like started the formation of plan B.
which was?
You know, if it's not going to work out, how else can I just make it not go to waste? And I it's a tough one. Like, I don't think I went to waste because I still use it a lot and just like meeting new people, new friends, and like playing pickup and all that just still to this day. And then like I transferred that energy kind of into the weights and the gym.
We're gonna get into that.
So that's kind of what I did. But yeah, now it's more of like trying to find a career path and having like that same love and passion for basketball, but in a career.
So you come back from this, and then grade 12 wasn't COVID, correct?
Yeah, but it was only a 4-game doesn't matter season. We get scammed.
How did you feel about that season?
Terrible, because our coach, good guy, good heart, but he's like, yeah, I don't care. I think it wasn't equal minutes, but it was like, I don't care about winning. It's just play to whatever. And it was just trash, and everyone else was playing to destroy us for the 4 games. And partially, it could have been a lot better. Like, it was so hard because we played so much, like 2 years of just unorganized, all over the place basketball to get dropped right back in that circuit to a non-coached, like we are coached, but our coach just
Squeeze it.
nobody followed. Like, it was one of those things, like the coach itself, he's not as bad as people say, but it's a system that just where we're from, nobody buys it. Nobody buys into it.
And it's just been the same.
Like, it just needs to be a new flavor in town, something new to try, because it's just so stale. So it's like eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you're like, fuck, I don't want to eat another peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm so sick of my so sick of my meal preps. They're so dry, old, crusty, disgusting. I just want a steak.
I'm going to try to put this in perspective. So, like, branching off of the peanut butter sandwich thing, imagine you were only allowed to eat peanut butter sandwiches for 30 years.
And you think it's going to get you that same result of like,
oh my God, this is a fucking peanut butter sandwich.
yeah, like that first one that you put the butter on, you're like, oh, and you eat it 30 times, 30 years of it, you're not going to get that same, oh.
Just so for example, like, we've been out of high school I've been out of high school for 3 years now, and we went to a practice the other day, and I can tell you exactly how the practice is going to go, start to finish. It hasn't changed in fucking 30 years.
Yeah, it's the exact same.
But grade 12, you hung them up, right?
Yeah, grade 12 was retired.
You hung it up. And
Port Elgin, same team I played, first game.
Poetic.
Yeah.
And one of the first questions I have written down here is, were you okay hanging them up?
It was a bittersweet ending for sure, because it was like I didn't get the full high school experience of like getting to fully flourish. Like, one of my goals was to make it to CWOSSA, but I only got 2 attempts at it. Really, realistically, it was grade 9 and grade 10 because there was no CWOSSA in grade 12.
Yep.
And it was 4 games.
Which we would have made it, by the way.
Yeah.
On site.
So, and grade 11, we would have been an insane team, but it just was a what if. And I don't like thinking of what ifs, but it's a pretty fucking good what if. Because we had all of our best players coming back for grade 13. I was in grade 11. He was grade 12. It was just the all-star.
Yeah, no, we would have ranched it up that year for sure.
But yeah, I guess cards weren't in our favor. But no, it was a bittersweet. Like, I did accomplish some things. I got best offense on grade 10. I had a lot of fun, a lot of memories. But It's a bittersweet thing. That's the best way to put it.
Okay. I'm going to sidestep a little bit here to Max's question, which I usually wait till the end, but I kind of want to get this now, which is seeing Chris go down the college basketball route at times, do you wish you could have pursued it further? If no, why not? If yes, what could you have done to get there?
Well, the competitor in me is like, I could do it. I played with him long enough. I could do it. But, he has strengths that I have to admit are way better than mine, as in defense and just ball handling and having the ball on a string that really amps you to the next level.
Okay.
And, like, playing in those rep games. But then there's moments of, like, I know it was a game that didn't fucking matter, but I went into a rep game.
I wanted to get into that too. So basically, we had this tournament, MPH, which I feel like if you're watching this, you probably know what that is. It's basically a big ass fucking circuit in Canada. And we had a exhibition game or a fucking throwaway game that like none of my players were going to on my rep team. And my coach was like, yo, do you want to bring anybody? And I said, yeah, I'll bring Headband, which is Sam, because he came to a practice one time and he kept calling him Headband. But then, yeah, how did you feel about that game?
Yeah, I subbed in. I think I knocked like 3 shots in a row, like just bang, 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 back to back. And then I had some stupid layup over this tall ass guy.
Bro, it was like 6'11".
Yeah, and then I remember I was dribbling up the floor, and his coach was like, "Shoot it, you're hot." So I was like, "Well, green light." And like literally, he's like right in the sideline, shoot it. And then this like 6'5" guy, I just launched it over him. I literally probably the greatest shot of my life. Could not see rim. Like I just launched it. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's airballing. Splash. Like, just drills.
No,
and
that
I was
shit was
like,
fucked, dude.
I was like, wow, I'm on one. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, then I had, like, some random dads. They were, like, coming up to me, like, wow, you're a good shooter, man. And that really, I was like, damn. Like,
that was actually your last real basketball game.
Yeah. I was like, damn. What if? Mm-hmm. What if I played rep ball all my life and, like, gotta improve in like actual shit? Because people call me a bad defender, but I feel like you gotta give me the benefit of the doubt of like never having a system be put into to like some coach to be like, yo, like let's get this shit fixed. Like it's not like I didn't want to be a good defender. I would if I just had someone to like help me get to that point. Because it was more like, sure, I'm lazy, but if I had a coach on my ass like 24/7, like, yo, if you want to go somewhere, you got to do this. This is this next big thing, man. You got this. You got this. Now do this. I'm going to do it. Like I have that dog in me, that that ambition, that flame, that fire to like really do it. So I'm going to do it. But I just never got that opportunity to like, because I don't know how else you can like teach defense otherwise through like YouTube and stuff. And, like,
so the second part of that question is, if yes, what could you have done to get there?
Honestly, I'd have to, if you were going in that same route, I could have tried to piggyback off of you and been like, all right, you're going there, sign me up. Just try to get in there.
That could have happened too, by the way. Because that point, I was driving the van. Like if you just drove to my house, you could have just rolled out and we would have just fucking went to AAU practice.
Could have did that, yes. That was a big thing that could have happened. By the time I had a not full-time job, but like I was working at Walmart still. And like my mom wanted me to have that for like job security of having money still coming in because I didn't have a car. I might have just got a car. So I paid for that. And then I had insurance I had to pay. So I had to have money still coming in. And there, like my job was kind of picky on like how many days I missed and whatnot. So I was like, man. But I'm sure I could have worked it out around the schedule that it could have worked. Which I would have liked to see how it went because, yeah.
So that's what you would have done is you would have went to play AAU ball?
100%, because I think how quickly I could adapt, getting a couple of games under my belt, really learning the pace, the speed, learning as much as being a sponge. Get rid of all my bad shot tendencies, all of that, and just kind of start fresh and how I keep, like I'll always be able to shoot a ball. If you put me in a system just to shoot a ball, it's not going to be that hard. So just put me back at square one. And just be a sponge and fucking learn as much as I can. And I think I could have made it somewhere. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, Brad probably would have had a field day with you.
Oh, yeah.
Because Brad already kind of likes you as a human being. And like, to see him yell at you for not playing defense would have been very funny.
I would like to see it. It would have been good. I wouldn't back down. I'd be like, I'll show you some defense.
Stepping also on top of this, because we already talked about your post-career. One of your goals was obviously unspoken, but you wanted to be the best god brother.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think you accomplished that?
Yes. 100%. I wish it's one of those. Another what if is like being able to play Ronan in his prime, because Carter, he got the bad hand of cards with injuries because he was a really good player.
Talking about like just pure potential, he probably had the highest because he was just stupid athletic.
Yeah. His jump shot had some hiccups in the mechanics, but it was an easy fix. But yeah, like sheer size and like just moving. He had like that mini LeBron.
Bro, no, a guy that big. He was dead out. He had a better build than I do in grade 10.
Yeah.
And he was way faster.
Oh yeah. He was benching. He benched like 300 pounds in like high school.
Yeah, it makes no fucking sense. But you think you ended up being the best brother?
All around, yeah, I think so, because like just all around game, I feel like my jump shot is better. Like I didn't really go to watch prime Ronan, so it's hard for me to really say like, oh, I'm sure the best.
What do you mean you didn't get to watch prime Ronan?
Because like I watched him in different aspects, like pick up ball and stuff, but it was all like all over the place, playing against like pretty piss poor competition. So it's hard to like adjust, because I'm like, it's so hard to tell, because I beat him like in 1v1s now, but he's nowhere near.
Dude, now that sparks a memory of like, there was a point where you guys were 1v1ing and he was in the edge of his fucking prime, and like you guys went back and forth for like days, dude. Like it was game 7. Did you end up winning those?
Yeah. Now, like I remember there's also a time when I could see like he was like, damn. Where he put on his Instagram story, he was like, who's winning this? And he had so much confidence he was gonna win. And everyone thought I was gonna lose too, because he put like a poll and it was like,
was I there for that?
You might have, before you were on the way to the court, and it was like a poll. It was like, who's gonna win, Sam or Ronan? Everyone voted Ronan. I won that shit. Like,
there was definitely a turning point, because there was a point where like we couldn't compete, and then it just kind of like he just strayed away from the game.
Yeah,
because I'll say I had to guard Prime Ron, and like that shit was hell, because he was.
I guess you got to see more of Prime Ronan with like, because he was in grade 13, I was in grade 9, but I was more like focused on myself, less than him at that point. It was
me and him going,
because you were more near,
dude. It was insane. Like, bro, I'm not even gonna lie. At that point, there's no way I could check him.
I guess I should ask you, because you played for this year.
The old Uno reverse.
Yeah,
who is better? I'll always stand on the fact that Carter had the highest potential, because he was just a fucking athletic demon, bro.
I agree with that.
And he was the closest in age to me in terms of, I was in the same gym classes as him, and just watching him grow up from grade 7, 8, 9 and shit, he was dusting everybody. Yeah. He was a grown man in grade 8. But between you and Ron,
tough one.
Defensively, he kind of waxes you because of his athleticism.
Yeah.
But you're definitely a better shooter. I've played with you more.
I feel like, honestly, playmaking wise, I was a better playmaker. Even though
I don't know if I agree with that.
I agree, because
like you disagree.
I disagree. Yeah, because like, dude, if people called me a dick, he was a douche. Like I remember he would be, because he like had a burning fire to be the best.
Yeah,
but like it almost like tore him down, because like people would just not like, he wasn't as like bad as like Cudney in the aspect of like when you're playing with him, you're like, damn. But then I'm thinking like people used to compare Ronan and Cudney.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I'm leaning towards Ronan, only because, hold on, I gotta get context too here, because people who don't know, Ethan Cudney was this kid, currently plays for a Canadian university, had like a 40-inch vert, was way ahead of his fucking time, bro. Was like 6'5", and he peaked in grade 10. No cap, sorry Cudney, but like he was so unbelievably ahead of people in grade 10. Like nobody was fucking with him in grade 10. Yeah. But I'm
it's hard with player wise, because like I feel like putting the ball in the net, we're pretty equal in like scoring ability.
If we were doing matchups, this is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to explain this. In a matchup scenario where you have identical teams and the only difference is Ron's the shooting guard on one team and you're the shooting guard on the other team, I think your team wins, but only because I know at some point Ron's going to try and take over, which is what he always used to do, and he's going to shoot some worse shots than he used to shoot, and then you guys might pull away. But that's the only comparison.
I don't know how, like he was consistent, but I don't know. It's hard for me to remember how consistent he was, because I know like when I get hot, it's like, and I've just seen like proofs in the pudding. Some people are like, bro, like what is this? So I know Rona has some games where he hits like walk up threes and they're like, damn.
He was almost more concerned with putting on a show than he was being consistent.
Yeah,
But
that is true.
so I'm gonna go back to the summer, maybe not even the summer. I don't remember. I can't really recall what year this was, but where we spent a legit 8 hours at Durham Court for days on end.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to like just dive into how you felt about that because there's nobody doing that shit now.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Like we just wanted that shit more than anybody else.
Like, dude, I don't even know what we were doing to like
But I think we were
keep
just
going.
playing ones.
Yeah,
for
we were just playing ones for hours.
Hours, dude.
Like it's funny because I try to like look back on like how I played compared to like Richie and Miles, like the younger guys in our area that are playing, and like you can even testify. How many people did you see that had like this guy would whoop my ass and I would be like, run it back. He'd beat me again. I'd be run it back. He'd beat me again. I'd be run it back. And I would just keep going. I would not stop until I get one or get close or improve in any way. And it would just eat me alive until I would win. And there'd be moments where I'd kick your ass and there'd be moments when you just demolish me. And I'm like, run it back. It just, I don't care. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm never going to quit. But like with kids now, it's like they lose and they're like,
yeah, bro, I don't get it. I think, dude, it's got to come from like the love of the game because honestly, like, you wanted to win, but the only thing that mattered at that point was like the fact that we were just playing basketball.
100%. No, dude, man, I remember going out in grade 8, like just begging to play or just get out or just something to do with basketball and begging for rides. So it's just like my mom would go to the gym and I'd be like, drop me off the court. I remember like, I'll tell my mom to like, wait later as she can so I can stay as long as I can into the empty gym after practice just to play. Like, pick me up as late as you can just so I can live in the gym as much as I can.
It was nonstop. Like we would play a high school game and then there'd be a men's league after the high school game and then wake up the next day, go to the YMCA and it was just like, you just had to, I don't see, if we were to compare eras right now, I don't see that dog mentality in damn near, I'm going to say maybe Miles, but that's still a stretch because I feel like if you put him on the court for 8 hours, I don't think he would even do that.
Yeah, like consistently playing for 8 hours, like not being like.
If you're talking about optimal, by the way, that was definitely not optimal. Like after the first 4 hours, dude, we were fucking cooked.
Yeah, no, for sure not optimal.
That's also, by the way, like that was when you talk about kids who would go to like AAU tryouts and they had coaches and mentors and people pushing them in certain directions. Like that was our situation where it's like the only person
learned from.
Yeah, it was like I would force you left, and that's the only reason. Or I'd force you right because you're left-handed, and that's the only reason you have a right hand right now. Or like I would fucking sit, and then you'd be forced to shoot, and it was just like that's definitely probably one of the most defining moments of my career.
100%, and that's probably one of the only reasons why like I can score on some really good hoopers, but I still struggle to score on you sometimes.
I know everything.
Played literally days of his life. Have been guarding me.
Yeah,
and it's like. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in post-career. Your basketball's, in terms of like competitive basketball, it's done.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 2 lessons that you can take away from basketball that you're now bringing with you into the rest of your life.
That's a tough one. Fuck.
I'll try and put it like this. If your kid was playing basketball and you could only instill 2 things in him, what would those 2 things be?
Live in the moment and do not take it for granted and like don't forget about the love of the game. Like that's what my dad always told me. It was like I'll get so mad over like little things or whatever because I want to be the best, whatever. And you'd always just say, Sam, relax. Like remember, you just gotta love the game. You just love the sport. You're playing the game you love. That's just what you want to do. If you want to play it, just while you're playing, like let it flow. Don't force anything. Don't be like, I need this. Don't expect anything. Just go into the smile and play with love. And honestly, since I've retired from basketball, I've really adapted this mindset and I feel like I'm a better player mentally. Maybe I don't know. Like I feel like I'm almost still in like peak performance and playing because I don't care as much in a way. So like I have less pressure. So I'm just playing as free and love and just playing to play ball. And I feel like my shot feels as good as it's ever felt. Like, just my whole game all around has been the best it's ever been. But if I had to give advice to someone or like, well, I guess advice to myself of what I took from it, I'd be like, fuck, just live in the moment and just never take shit for granted because it's just like that. It's gone. Like all those hours I put in, I wouldn't say it's for granted or like wasted time or potential or anything. I wouldn't reverse it, but yeah, I live in the moment for sure. So it just goes like that.
So now we're done with basketball. What are your goals now moving forward in life? Obviously, because we're done with basketball.
Well, big one. I want to make $1 million.
Okay.
I want to make $1 million. I want to be a millionaire. That's what I want to be.
Does that mean take home or pre-tax?
Take home.
Okay, that's
I want to
aggressive.
make $1 million. It's gonna get
In
done.
1 year or altogether?
1 year.
Okay, this guy's shooting for the fucking moon.
Cause I see like social media people. I seen like some guy just posted, like some magician / fitness guy just posted this year he made 6 figures or whatever, $1 million.
And that's 100,000.
Or no, I guess it was 7
figures.
7 figures, yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, like he doesn't have that crazy big of a following base. I don't know what he did, but it's like it's cool content, but it's like $1 million.
So what's the plan to get to $1 million?
Can't say I know the answer to that just yet,
Okay.
but could try to make a roadmap for step one. But right now, I want to get into some sort of sales type career. Just not even just sales, but just a career that I feel somewhat passionate, that I have like a similar love that I have for basketball, but in a career where I'm not waking up like, oh my God. I
Insert
hate
waking
this.
up meme.
Yeah. So something I love to do or have enjoyment in doing that I could live with.
Outside of financial, like I know you want to hit 315 bench at some point.
350.
350.
315, yeah, but 350 would be nice. 405.
315 bench, and then obviously you probably have a following goal and a subscriber goal and that kind of shit.
I mean, seeing 1,000, like it's so small, but seeing 1,000 views on a video,
It's definitely not small. I'll tell you
like
that.
it feels like 3 months ago, if you told me that I have a 1K, like it just looks insane.
I'm taking the assist on that one, by the way.
Yeah, it gets cool. Like it really is like just neat to see. And I'm not even doing it to like blow up or be like, try to be, oh, look at me, I'm rich, I'm famous, all this. Like I don't give a damn about any of that. Like I honestly would be more of like a Sam Sulek. Like I love the life I live now. I just would like to have financial freedom to be independent and make my own money off of me. So that's kind of like the main goal of why I'm doing it. But also just I have like that same love as I have for basketball and content creating and just seeing like nothing come, like just a video of raw me coming into something that I think just is a cool transition of like into film and being able to edit it and all that.
So you're into bodybuilding now.
Yeah.
Is there parallels between things that you were doing in basketball and bodybuilding?
I think consistency, definitely. Like you have to be consistent with it and take it actually serious. If you want it, you gotta have that flame in you to really get up and after it and not give a damn what people think. Because same thing with like weightlifting is like some people will be like, oh, all you do is post about weights. And it was the same thing with basketball. It was like, all you do is play basketball. Like you're not going to parties. You're not doing this. You're like, that's lame. And it's like, I don't give a damn. I'll be the one that's 30 in good shape and you might be the one that's 30 with a beer gut. And it's like,
I'm not gonna go lie, I've learned way earlier. Parties are so fucking overrated, dude.
No, so overrated.
It's you show up, everyone's on their phone, and then maybe you get with a girl and then you leave. Like it's just it's extremely fucking overrated.
like I'd say you got to indulge in it once in a while, but like you got to know it's not the epitome, like the just best part of life. You got to find happiness in yourself, and like you don't have to rely on those dopamine filling moments like that to enjoy life.
Yeah.
You got to find something else that'll get you that same feeling.
Looking back, do you have a favorite basketball memory and or story?
Favorite basketball moment story. Probably shout out Cameron Howell. Probably that moment of against Owen Sound, playing against good hooper, really good guy. And we were down by like 30 at halftime. And I don't know if you know this, but our coach, his mom
I was on the bench, I know.
at the time had cancer and she just beat it. And she was actually my bus driver back in the day in like middle school, which I thought was a full circle moment. But yeah, she was in the hospital, or I think she just beat cancer. I don't know. And so she was like in better shape now because he figured out like she heard the news that she passed or beat cancer, got past that. And so he was happy with that. And but he was down in the dumps. And yeah, we were down by 30, and give him credit for just being there in full spirit, want to play basketball, want to coach. Yeah, we just fought it out.
I don't know if "we" is even an accurate representation there.
I guess how it started was I remember I started off the game terrible. Like, they were a good team. Everyone was like, oh, Cameron Howell, he's league bound, fucking all this. Because he's like 6'5", and
Schmeat riding.
yeah, 6'5", tall dude. And everyone in our area, our tallest guy was 6'2", probably. And like, that's our center. And he has 0 touch. So we're like, damn.
Old stone hands.
Yeah. So we're just like, all right, whatever. And so we're getting beat on. Like, I'm playing like shit. I'm getting so mad. Like, I remember I was like, fuck, man, it's the moments I live for. And I'm just selling. We're just getting pummeled. And then I think the first shot that I was just like, I just hit one shot. It was one shot. That's all it took. I remember someone sent me a pic, and I did a sidestep and shot her over Cam and just laced that bitch. And I was like, game. Like, I just knew. I was like, let's get it. And man, what is that saying? Pressure builds what?
Diamonds?
Sure. I don't know. Sure. They couldn't handle the heat, and fuck, we were diamond that game. It was one of those games that the pressure was high and somehow rose to the occasion. That's all the reps just kicked in. I forgot about that first quarter. Halftime, I was like, it's a new court, it's a new game. Who cares? Like, and that's the thing too, is I feel like a lot of kids nowadays, I'll see they'll be down, like they could be down whatever, 15, 20. I was down 30, and I wasn't like, over, fuck. I didn't give up. I was like, nah, like, I still have another half. I didn't know for sure if I was gonna win, but I damn well was not giving up on like all right, you won. I
Wait
wasn't.
till the last fucking whistle.
Yeah, till it was 0-0, like clock done, bang, buzzer. And like I've seen kids that are like down 15 and they're just like head down. But I was like, nah, that's not happening. I'm giving it my all. Cause like at that point I knew, like, I think it was near the end of the season, so I was like, this is like one of the few games left. So I gotta go. And yeah, everything started connecting, everything was going. I remember I had a big and one on him. And I think I hit, it's kind of like, it's happened so fast. I don't remember all the exact moments, but I just remember I was cooking on all cylinders. And I had like, what was it, 30 something?
Something like that.
I think it was like 35. It was my career high in a game, like 35. And yeah, the center Cam, he had a shot to win the game, hit like back rim, and we won. And I was just like, wow, we just came back from 30 at halftime.
Shout out Chicken Wrap for selling on the layups.
Yeah, his teammates were not building for that pressure. They're not built for the moment. They sold hard.
And then, dude, there was so many. It was like if you were in the gym, you would have assumed it was fucking Game 7 to go to some finals somewhere because Jason was crying, Cam was crying, everyone was fucking crying.
That was a crazy. Like, if Cam ever watches this, I made a grown man cry.
I don't even know. He definitely wasn't grown at that point. He was like grade 9.
I guess, yeah, he was grade
9.
9, yeah.
But there was still tears, and that was definitely a good feeling to know that you did that.
But no, I respect Cam for that moment because like that just shows his character of how much he truly wants to win. I wouldn't take that as like a embarrassing moment for him. It was like showing like that's like the Joel Embiid. People make fun of him for crying, but it's like, man, that just shows how much you love the game and how much you don't want to lose. So I understand that moment and like what he's going through. Cause I've been in moments like that where I'm like, I remember I've been like packed by 30 before by Sacred Heart, and I'm like driving home like, bro, damn. And there's been moments like that where like just basketball just gives you the waterworks because how
I can
much.
vividly remember when we were 1v1ing and I beat you like 7 times in a row, and you actively went over to the river and cried because you just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, like, it's just one of those things that you want it so bad that like you're so emotionally invested into it, like you do not care. Like it's just that much. Like how much time, hours, effort you put into it. When you just still don't get over that hump, it just happens. The waterworks.
Do you have a worst basketball memory?
Worst. I mean, probably it was like a stretch. It wasn't really like a memory. It was more of a stretch of time when like I had a lot of people like when I was in grade 8, grade 8, grade 9, a little bit in between, of just like the older people that were friends with my brothers that were like, and some of the girls too that were like reffing and whatnot, that would just kind of like try to shit on me and be like, oh, you're bad, but you put all this time in, but you're still only this good, blah, blah, blah. Just being straight haters, saying like, you're only a practice player. And for a second, I was like, maybe they're right. Maybe I just can't do it. I'm not built for it. I'm not as good as them. I'm just not it. And then I realized like all these guys are losers. Like get out of here. Because I remember back in the day, I would care a lot what people would think. So I always have those moments where I'm like, is this worth it? Like they're saying I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be playing so much basketball. They're calling me a weirdo for playing so much basketball. Maybe they're right. And then it's just got to stay dialed in on that path and just have the blinders on. So that's probably just like the worst memory is kind of like what came with so much working with basketball was like just the negative side of like people's perception of you that really probably was not as bad as what I think it was because it's just
now they're all working at McDonald's serving you fries. So
yeah,
fuck them. So we talked about this before, but what is a quote you live by?
Trust the process.
Was that your quote you lived by before it became the Sixers logo or no?
I found that like so young, like such a young. I've been a Philly fan since like the dawn of time of like 2016.
And they were fucking garbage.
Oh, they've been garbage for so many years. Like Embiid was getting hurt so much. Like they had nobody, and like Brett Brown is their coach, and it was like, bro, I don't know what I. It's funny because like I'm so far from a center build of a game. I don't know why or what drew me into that team. I can't even remember the moment of what it was. I just thought like, I was just like, damn, I like the way he plays. A lot of people shit on him because he draws a lot of fouls, but it's like, well, don't foul. I don't know. It's just he's just doing what works. So it's like, if it's so annoying, stop it. So I don't know.
Could the same logic not be applied to James Harden?
Yeah, but I mean, I like James Harden, but at the same time, it's almost like I like Luka, but I wasn't a fan of like James Harden when he was in his MVP era because like I just feel like it was too forced in a way. I just wasn't fun to watch. Like Luka, I swear it's like a better version of that. Maybe not scoring wise. Like James Harden was fucked when he did that, but like Luka's kind of like a more refined version, an easier watch.
This is completely sidestepping away from what we were talking about, but I will say I think we grew up in low-key a second golden era of basketball. Watching the 2015-2016 season where that was absolute fucking peak. The dunks, like the dunk contest, the 73-9 Warriors, the 3-1 comeback, all that shit, and then you had Kawhi's shot. Like it was pretty peak than what we grew up in.
2019 is probably the best year of my life of like just basketball, being like grade 9 going into basketball and like watching the Raptors, who I never thought in my life honestly were going to win a championship. Like when they made that trade, I was like, that's a good ass trade. Hell yeah, Kawhi's a dog. But if you told me they were going to win a championship, I would be like, hell no. The Warriors, no, I just don't believe it. Like, yeah, I don't know how Kawhi. I don't even know how Kawhi did that. Had the world of Canada, like all of Canada, in his hands, and he was like,
didn't fold.
Yeah, but he still was one, and was like, all right, I'm going to LA.
Yeah,
like,
that's so that. And now his career is, I'm not gonna lie, kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie.
Like he's still really good when he plays, but not as like man. Toronto was it.
There was a stretch of time where it was undoubtedly like Kawhi was the best player in the world. Oh, like dude, it wasn't even close.
That Philly, like, that's so funny. Is when he played Philly.
Who are you cheering for?
I was cheering for Toronto, but my family thought I was cheering for Philly. Like they fucking Philly would score and they'd be like, "Fuck you! This is what you want." And I'm like, "No, this is not like this is Toronto. It's my hometown, like the city, man." And no, but that was honestly like I will say bar none. I watched LeBron in like 2016, but like that 2019. Kawhi was like honestly the second or if not the best player in that series I've ever seen in my life. Like, he did anything he wanted that series. It was insane.
3-level scorer, like fucking lockdown defender.
And then the next series he comes down, starts like next series yamming on Giannis, like doing anything he wanted. It was fucked. And yeah, it was just peak basketball.
Going back to your quote, why do you live by trust the process?
Because I think everything kind of comes in a process that's not perfection.
Okay.
And everything is a process. Like when you set a goal, there's a process to the end goal, right? And so it's not going to be a straight shot, perfect, like all yay. It's going to be some of those like good, holy fuck to back to baseline to the end goal. So it's everything is just a process, and I feel like I've lived by that in a lot of ways of just with, planning, like just knowing like everything's going to work out and not overthinking shit, like stressing on not having a job and then getting a job. He's going to trust the process. With basketball, all the work, if it's going to work out in game or am I going to play good, all this, just turn that off. Just trust the process. And yeah.
I've asked like so many people this, but I'm kind of just curious. When you have a kid, are you gonna play him in ones until you like know you're gonna lose to him, or are you gonna quit early and be like, yo, I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction of beating his father?
So I'm playing him till I am literally in the dirt. Like, but I'm gonna win until like he's gonna be like a teenage. Like, he's gonna be in high school. I'm still gonna be whooping his ass, guaranteed.
Are you gonna force your kid to play basketball?
No, because I feel like that's just I don't want to force anything on them because I was never forced anything. Like I'm gonna have it there at a young age to see if he likes it. I'm gonna hope because I have so much knowledge. I just would love to just give to him, and so it just would just go on for generations. And I think honestly, it's in the DNA. Like it's dad liked basketball, and like how Ronan and Carter and me all love basketball. I just think it'll kind of be in there.
Is that what your parents did? They just showed you stuff, and then that's the one you picked up?
Yeah, that was all it was. Yeah, like my dad, he was mainly a hockey guy, but my mom didn't want us playing hockey because she didn't want us to become like jocks. She was just like, "Oh, you're gonna become like douchebag."
I'm not even gonna lie. Ronan and Carter on skates would have been fucking insane.
Yeah,
coming at you full speed, nah, brother, they would have been over.
They liked hockey too. Like they watched it and whatnot. Like when they were kids, they were big hockey fans. Like Crosby, of course, and whatnot. But yeah, mom and dad just never put him in. Like dad would have put him in, but mom was like, "No, not worth it." And then it got to a point when like they were old enough, they wanted to, but like you missed the phase of like you have to be a kid.
Yeah, no, you have
play.
to be in there very early. Did you play your dad in 101 driveway 101s?
Oh yeah.
Did you win?
As a young kid, he'd like kick my ass because he's like a bigger guy. But then it got to a point when like he just wasn't moving like that. So I was just like, gosh. But then it kind of went to like, yeah, he stopped playing 1-on-1s, and it was more of just like we'd just shoot the shit. He'd pass me the ball, and I'd just shoot for hours, and he'd just pass me the rock.
Was it like, was he hitting jumpers on you, or was it just straight layups? It was like, just when you thought it was safe to come outside?
No, he hit some turnarounds. Like, he actually had some stuff moves where I was like, damn. He's that MJ bag. Like, you can tell he's a big MJ fan because, yeah, he'd do some fadeaways, and, like, the mechanics are there. Like, I know. Like,
I've been here when he shot one. It was there.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's, like, not far-fetched for him to say he was a solid shooter back in the day. I wouldn't be like, if it was, like, fucking this, I'd be like, nah, you're lying to me. I know. I've played enough basketball to know your ass, but no, I've played enough to see it's there.
Did he try to teach you some things, like in particular, like moves, or was it just like?
Like there were some big man moves they tried to show him at the classic, like Shaq drop step, stuff like that, and like just positioning on when to get the ball, like ball fakes, just little things like that to like help just kind of to have a different angle of the game, just kind of like to open my bag a little more, but.
Closing question. One piece of advice you would give your younger self.
Fuck. Honestly, it doesn't seem like anything crazy, but don't overthink shit. Like, just have fun with it and just honestly say 1, 2, 3, do it.
Okay.
Like, so many times, you got to know when you should do the 1, 2, 3, do it, not in any aspect of life. To be like, oh,
fuck the hooker.
Yeah, fuck that girl. 1, 2, 3, do it. Like, no, don't do that. But like, just with aspects of like talking to a girl or like with basketball decisions and all that, just kind of be like, it's happening. Let's get it done. Let's do it. Not like him and haw, and then bitch him on about shit. Just do it. Yeah.
That's wraps. Hour and 2 minutes. We'll catch you on the next one.
Wait.
I know exactly what you're about to do. Go ahead, do it.
All right, boys. Now I got a question for you guys.
Oh wait, actually, too, I do have. Do you have a question for me?
I did. What was it?
Long pause. I'll cut some of this.
Yeah, it's gonna need to be cut. Fuck. What was I gonna say?
College basketball, secret wisdom.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was. Wait, if you sub me in for like where Max plays right now, if you were to sub me in where Max plays college basketball,
okay,
for like, I don't know, say you gave me 2 practices with the team,
yep,
you put me in the game, do you think I could do anything to help improve the team in any aspect?
Max plays garbage minutes, so I want to put that out there first. Like Max gets in when they're down 40, up 40.
Okay.
By the way, they're very rarely up 40, so it's usually when they're down 40. Could you do something?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really honest. Two practices is not enough time. Like you.
Okay, so let me actually flip my question then. So, knowing my game and how I play, do you think I could be useful on a roster
In college basketball?
college basketball?
D3?
College
Because to
basketball.
be really honest with you, there's nobody that I've met from around here other than maybe Cudney, and by the way, he'd be bottom of the bench player who could play D2. I've seen some fucking unreal Division 2 basketball, and I don't think anyone around here. Shout out that kid we just absolutely shit talked. You're not going to Michigan. There's no fucking way. It's damn near impossible for someone around here to go D3, let alone fucking D2. It's not happening. If you were given the same opportunities that I had, where you got to go to Toronto and you met Brad, shout out, and you had all these guys like leading you in the right direction, I have no doubt in my mind you could have definitely made the team. And then given 4 years, you could have been a valuable asset, I think, in terms of like 6-man, come on, hit 5 shots and sit the fuck down. But like, if I threw you on Elms right now, you would look out of place. And that's coming from a place of like, defensively, Max can't play defense. But
They probably have like a whole set, like it's not up to man. It's
that's the thing I was going to say is like, it's not just the speed of the game that changes when you move up in levels. It's the stuff. We had no fucking plays. Yeah. So you're coming down and they're running fist. You have to know what fist is at the point guard position, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5, based on whatever the fuck happens in the next 30 seconds. And we had none of that.
Yeah,
So
but IQ in that part of the game is definitely like underdeveloped.
mine's everyone around here is just fucking underdeveloped. And that's like one of the main reasons that kid that we just watched who said he's going to Michigan. I'm like, I know you're not going to do that because even if you had the athleticism, we don't have enough basketball IQ around here to do that.
Yeah.
But what were you about to tell your secret fans of?
Oh yeah. Let's see here.
Shameless plug. You recorded this beforehand?
No, I was gonna be like. So A1 meme, and now after I made you laugh, now you might as well. I got your attention. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Sam Scott 1421, Sam Scott at _1421 on Instagram. Ship Across the Border, SATB _pod everywhere. Go check us out. Sewers.
Sewers.
We'll catch you on the next one.
That's fun. I'll do it again.